Hello everyone, this is your demonstration on how to make your lighting layers and your set layers all line up. So your light plot for something rotten should look something like this. So, once you've gotten your light plot to look something like this, if you hit flyover, which I've just activated, you're going to see that the lights and the set don't align. I'm going to fix that by going back to top plan. Now, I need you to click the layer button up here. See where it says layers? You want to click here. And you need to turn everything off except for the lighting layer. This includes all the catwalks, etc., etc. So just continue to click all of these off. And again, if you need them at any time, which you probably will not, you can easily access this menu just by clicking on the little symbol of the layers of paper. Okay, now the only thing that's on is the lighting layer. We also need to make sure the lighting layer is in bold. What that simply means is that's the active layer. You can confirm that by looking right up here. Right? See how we say lighting. Great. Now you can notice that the set has gone away. Oops. Well, so what we need to do is we need to have selected our set. In this case, I'm using the first ground plan. So in this case, I actually need to go back, and now I need to also turn off the lighting layer. This means that no layers are on. And I'm simply going to use the selection tool and the rectangle marquee tool to select all of this, hit Command C, or you can go up here to say Edit, Copy. I'm going to say Command C, and then now that everything's off, I'm going to go back to the lighting layer. Notice there's no set. I'm going to click About 00, which is the combination of plastiline and centerline, and I'm going to hit Command V or Paste. And you notice how it didn't line up perfectly, but it was very close. So, what I'm going to go ahead and do is go ahead and drag this box up on centerline to the proscenium arch. Oops, now I've gone too far. Now, see how it unselected? If I just click Edit Undo, it'll reselect everything. So we're pretty close here. Let's try that. Okay, and I'm going to just start nudging down. That's the Shift key being held down and using the arrow keys to nudge. So if we align the electrics with the electrics, that's going to get us to the correct place. Okay? Does everyone see that? Yes, there we go. I have my Vectorworks set to a 2-minute backup because I have multiple files open and it sometimes crashes. Okay, there we go. So now, the important thing to know here is now we're going to let that go. So now, when I go into the flyover, it's all going to move together. And you can see that I have this little set here. Right? And you can see all the lights all around. Now, if I back up, you're going to notice that some of the lights aren't at the right height. And you're going to notice there's some other things, like these white boxes, that are in your way. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of them. So, now I'm going to go back to top plan. You just do that when it says custom view and click top plan. So the way we're going to quote unquote get rid of these things is we're going to select these boxes. So just by holding down the shift key, we're going to select all of this that we don't need. The shift key allows you to add multiple selections to a single item. Okay, so now I'm just going to right click. I'm going to say properties, and a lovely dialog box is going to come up. See how it says class blank? Well, we want to put these in a non-used class. So a class that I went ahead and found for you all is actually, let me find it real quick. Well, we can put them in a couple of different places. CAD set import is a good one. I'm going to do that now. So then, if I go to, over here, I'm going to move my basic palette away, resource manager, go away. So if we click on the classes tool, and then I go up to CAD set, so if I just type in CAB, sorry, do it again, CAB. See, it says CAD set import. I just want to turn that class off. If I need it again, I can quickly come up there. If you don't have CAD set import, you can easily use another class. Another class that I easily recommend that's not in use in this drawing is part of the Lysistrata, the quad. This one right here would be an excellent choice. So now those are gone. Now you notice when we use the flyover tool that almost everything goes away. Now notice we left a couple of things. So we want to add the number line that's right here, and these 3 lights on either side, and a couple of other little things. Right? Anything that's basically not rotating around. So let's go back to top plan, and we'll continue with that. Again, remember, if you're selecting multiple items, you need to hold down the Shift key. So I'm going to select those, and these items here. And notice I made a mistake. I clicked on the other object. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to select this. I'm going to zoom in just for clarity. I don't know about you, but at this point the fans on my computer have really started to crank up. So don't be surprised if that happens. Again, we're going to right click. And we're going to go down to properties. And then we're going to assign class and just type cab. Right here I happen to know it's right there, so I'll just click it. And I hit OK, and the objects have disappeared. Remember, if you need them back, you can simply reactivate that class. These 2 objects also need to go away, as well as the number line. Oops, notice I've selected this by mistake. Just continue clicking Shift, and then we can click on the object that I actually wanted, which is this number line here. And then Shift, Shift. Oops, and I made that mistake again. Sorry about that. So we want to select this object here, this object here, not that one, this one. And we want to select these 2 things here. And again, that keeps deselecting. Oops, that's the wrong thing. We want that. Lovely. Before we have any other issues, I'm going to go ahead and do the properties and change the class, and we can continue with everything else. Okay, and those are gone. So I'm going to select this one. And again, remember to hold down Shift. And I need to get rid of this. This is enough for the demo, but if you have other things that are bothering you, you can most certainly get rid of them in the same manner. Again, right-click, Properties, Class, and it will go away. Easy peasy. So now, let's check that out one more time. Again, I went to the flyover tool, and now almost everything is flying around as it should. Notice that nothing is really obstructing our view at this point. Now, an important thing to note, notice how we have lights on the ground here. This means they have not been assigned a Z height. So let's go ahead and go through and do that. So in your auditorium, you notice that these pipes are on the floor. So the lights on the first and second catwalk have different heights, and I'll give those to you now. So instead of custom view, let's hit right. This allows us to pick heights a little bit more easily. For purposes of this demonstration, catwalk 2 height will be 22 foot 3 inches. And catwalk 3 will be 24 foot 11 inches. Or it could be 28 foot 10 inches. It's completely your choice. Over stage electrics, again, are completely your choice, but again, for purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to set all of the stage electrics at about 20 feet. Again, remember, if I'm going too fast for any of this, feel free to rewind this video, or back up the video, and watch sections again. So I'm going to just do this over stage, and I'll allow you to do the ones in the front of house on your own, to keep this video as short as possible. So I'm going to go back to the flyover, and I'm going to pull us back over stage. Alright, so if I go straight here, we can see that there are a couple of lighting instruments on First Electric that are not at the correct Z height. So I'm going to just do First Electric, again, for the purposes of this demo. And there comes our resource manager in the way. So again, let's go to top plan. And then I'm simply going to do one of two things. I can either hold shift and draw a box around the entire electric, making sure that my actual electric pipe has not been selected. Or I can do a combination. I can select lighting instruments individually by holding shift. Perhaps a combination like I'm doing may be the best fit for you. And you want to make sure that only lighting instruments are selected here. Okay, and then we're going to right click just like we did before. We can go to properties, or we can simply do this over here. Alright, object info. That means you have to open the object info palette. If you're confused, the object info palette is located in window, palettes, and then you have all sorts of things, but object info is right here. Okay, and I'm going to give these all a Z height of 20 feet. Remember, it's 20 feet, not 20 inches. Alright, 20 feet. Let's say OK. Now if I go back to flyover view, you'll see that everything on First Electric is now at 20 feet. Fantastic. We're now ready to move on to the next section of this tutorial. Now, keep in mind that as I do this, we very well may have the frame rates slow down, and that's okay. So I'm going to go back to top plan, and now that I have all of these lights selected, now I need to create focus areas. So, we're going to click on the little light here, right, in tool sets, and click on the light. I'm going to expand this just so you can read it. We're going to go for the third item down, which is the focus point tool. You can make focus points wherever you like. The focus point is where these theatrical lights will actually point. So you're going to click, and it's going to ask you what you want to name the focus point. I'm going to call it Set US. And typically, if you're going to light people, the focus height is around 6 feet. If you're going to light scenery, it could be much higher or lower than that. So, since I'm lighting scenery, I'm going to say 10 feet. I'm going to say OK. You notice, right here, that focus point is visible. If you want the focus point to not be visible in your final rendering, you can always right-click on them and add a new class that you can then turn off in your final rendering. I can go over this in class on Tuesday as well. So I'm going to create 3 focus points. I'm going to do set upstage, set upstage SL, and set upstage SR. Great, we have 3 focus points. Now I'm going to go to Spotlight. I'm going to actually reduce this window because we don't need that at the moment. Now I'm going to go to Spotlight, Focus Instruments. Now there are already some focus points set up in this drawing, but the ones that we created are the long names here. So, before I do this, I need to hit Escape a couple of times and select the lights that I'd like to focus. I'm going to... Oh, I'm sorry. I also need to be back on our cursor. I've moved that out of the way. It keeps trying to insert focus points. So I'm now back on our cursor, and I'm going to select a light. I'm going to select this light right here. It's a Source 426. Yes, thank you. The resource manager keeps popping up. I'm going to say Spotlight, Focus Instrument. Oops, I hit Replace Instrument. Focus Instrument. And then I'm going to select, and I'm going to say Set Upstage. Okay, and then I need to go back to this light before I deselect it, right click, and then say Turn On. This will be important later. And then I'm going to click this light. I'm going to say Spotlight, Focus Instrument, and I'm going to say Upstage Stage Left. And if you remember, I need to now right click on this light, say Turn On. Then I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go Spotlight, Focus Instrument, scroll all the way down, Upstage Stage Right. Again, right click, scroll all the way down, Turn On. Now, you will not see any effect as I rotate in plan view, or in rotating views here, because we're in wireframe mode. You'll need to activate OpenGL or one of the rendering styles to see an effect here. Notice how those lights are now lighting the set. So just to show you some of the things that you can do, I'm going to pick this one light that we just used, and I'm going to get an object information palette, and I'm going to look at lighting information. Now in the show I used Lee 202. I wanted this to be a white, but if we want this to be some other color, you can either in this field here type in the gel color, or you can go over here, click on this little color palette thing, scroll down, and see Spotlight, Roscoe colors, Lee colors, or any of these others. You want to make sure you use gel, so you want to make sure it's one of the ones that says Spotlight. I'm going to select Lee because I happen to like Lee color, and I'm going to make this one a blue. Lee 716. We say OK, and that light is turned blue. Notice if I zoom in, it's now blue. These other lights are the same color. Continue to make these until you make a composition that you like. Keep in mind that you may need to be using lights further away, or use lights of different sizes. The light that we have here is a Source 426, so it's going to make a very small circle. For instance, if I would have chosen the light next to it, Source 419, it would make an even smaller circle. However, if I chose another light that was a Source 450, say, which is a 50-degree light, it's much wider, it would cover more area. I hope this helps everyone, and I look forward to seeing you all in class on Tuesday. If you need any help, please feel free to email me. I've already had students emailing me about this project, and I'm very happy to get back to you as soon as I possibly can, and help you with any errors or issues that you encounter. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.